Good morning or grand rising, depending on who I'm greeting. Number one, I want to thank the only two people that tried to, well, I won't say tried to find me, but the only two people that successfully found me on Instagram. So I want to thank those two people. And the giveaway, the lunch money, is $23 because that's all I could do. But the $23 went to Jerron Myers. So thank you, Jerron Myers. I don't know if you are male or female. You don't have pictures on your Instagram of nothing but children. So, your children, and I guess I'm not sure. But thank you so much for being the first person to locate me on Instagram. The second person that located me, and the only other person that located me on Instagram, was Beauty in April. And so you was just probably like 2 hours late with finding me. But I would like to also shout out Beauty in April for finding me on Instagram. Now, the Instagram is everything is lowercase, by the way. I don't know if that makes a difference. But the Queen, KWEEN _ Sheba. Everything's lowercase. The Queen _ Sheba. That's my Instagram. So, y'all hit me up over there with messages in my DM. Jerron did exactly what I asked and left me a message in my DM. And then the Beauty in April left a message on one of my pictures. So, I want to thank you both. And, there is someone who makes sure to comment on a lot of my stuff. I did not, let me see, your name is something like Fly High in it. But I want to thank you because you watch me, you rocking with me. And I notice little things like that. I notice people that let me know they're there by just leaving a comment. That means a lot to me. Especially if you take the time to leave me a thoughtful comment. It doesn't have to be kissing my behind or anything like that. It can just be, hey, I heard what you said and this is how I feel. It can be anything that's respectful, but just me knowing that you listening to me. And my subscribers, man, that's a trip because I remember like 153 subscribers not too long ago, and now I'm over 300. So that's positive to me. We all have to start somewhere. So, and I'm actually enjoying the YouTube. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna show you guys more and do other things, but just so far, I'm just so enjoying being able to just talk about whatever, just freedom of speech. I'm enjoying freedom of speech, through YouTube. So, all right, having said all of that, thank you to everybody that subscribed to me. Don't forget about me. Matter of fact, go ahead and like this comment. Go ahead and like this video right now. If you want to hear more from me, because if y'all rocking with me and I ain't even getting on camera, you know y'all gonna rock with me when I show y'all what I'm about to show y'all. And just take y'all with me and do vlogs. Just take you with me. I'm not going to exploit anybody, but I will get some more interviews. I had some interviews in the past that I put on my channel here with homeless people. And so both Jerron and Beauty and April had different suggestions for me, but they both had shared one of the same ideas, and they wanted me to talk about myself. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. Give the people what they want, right? The first time I went to jail, let's tell that story. And I got stories for days, y'all. I'm writing a book and stuff, a more quality book. But for the purposes of this, I will go ahead and tell you about the first time I went to jail. So the first time I went to jail, and I've been to jail a few times in my life. I'm not ashamed of going to jail now, today, but when I was going, I was very ashamed. But now that I've outgrown that part of my life, I'm just like, wow, because I'm really like a boring girl, for the most part. I'm very, like, I don't do a lot. I've done enough shit. I don't think I'm old yet, but I just done enough. Like I partied. I've done enough. So my first time going to jail was basically when I hit my baby daddy, who was also my first husband. I hit him upside the head with a stiletto shoe. Like it was a stiletto heel. And it busted his head open, and he called the police on me, and I went to jail. And when the police got there, he tried to tell them that, oh, you ain't got to take her to jail, but he's holding, a rag with the blood. And I don't think he got stitches because he was right there at the jail the next morning. My grandma brought him to the jail with my baby. It was a mess, honey. That was the first time I went to jail. I was 20 years old. Then I laid low and I wasn't going to jail for a long time until I got in my 30s again. Then I had another wild streak. Shit was going on in my life. And I'll be honest with you, I was just self-medicating at that time. I was just drinking and smoking weed, and I wasn't taking the proper medication for my mental health. And so I was self-medicating, and I was just wilding out. But whatever I did in my life, I did it by myself. I did all my dirt by myself. I only went to jail with my second husband. We went together because that's the way he wanted it. He didn't want them to take me and not him. And it wasn't no violent stuff. We was literally not doing anything. They had a baby that was killed in the hood. And I was visiting my grandmother because she had just got the hospital. I think she just got out of the hospital. Anyway, I had to bring her some bedroom shoes and house coats and stuff. And so when we got downtown in South Carolina in the hood, we was like, I noticed, I said, I don't know if, I can't remember my husband said it or not, but I was like, wow, nobody's outside. And I just noticed nobody was outside. And in the hood in South Carolina, if it's warm, Negroes are outside on the block. The girls are walking up and down the street. The addicts are walking up and down the street all day. People sitting on the porch being nosy in the heat. I mean, people outside, black people outside in South Carolina in the hood. So I was like, nobody's outside. And it wasn't dark. The sun was up. That's what was mind-blowing. I was like, wow. And I'm looking to see if it had rained because I lived in the country. So I'm looking to see if it rained. Why are the black people not outside? Streets are dry. So long story short, this guy and his girlfriend killed her baby. So he wasn't the father of this little baby. This baby wasn't even 2 years old yet. And they got a life insurance policy on the baby and killed the baby. The biological mother of the baby. So they had a manhunt going on, and we got caught up just being outside with this manhunt. So they had a lot of people, a lot of officers from different places, and so how did I get there? Because that's when I went to jail another time. Oh, I was telling you why and when I went. The only time I went with somebody. Other than that, I was telling you that I did all my dirt all by my lonesome and I went to jail by myself. But that time, my husband wanted to go to jail with me, so he was like, well, we're going to take her. He was trying to tell them, just take me, don't take her. And he had a bigger rap record than I did, for sure. He had a felony. So, but they wasn't trying to hear that. So they was like, oh, okay, we'll take you too. And it was a mess. But my first time going to jail was, my first husband, he bumped into me, and he was a big guy. No fat on him. He was just huge, just muscles. He was just like a big old wrestler, And he bumped into me, and I fell on my brand new baby. And I like brand new stuff. I like my stuff to stay brand new when I buy it. I like it to stay as new as possible, So I had a brand new baby, and he bumped into me because I had a C-section, and that's very painful, and you can't stand up straight for the first few days. And so he bumped into me. I fell onto my brand new baby, and I pretty much lost it. I was like, well, go outside. I took a bunch of Aleve, naproxen. And as the doctor gave me like some naproxen for pain and something else. But anyway, I just took naproxen. Naproxen works for me with cramps and when my back would go out and stuff. So I had all this stuff going on right after a C-section. And so I was like, go outside. You want to bump into me? I fell on my baby. I felt like I could have killed my baby. At that time, I was like 265 pounds. I was more than that. I was like probably 270 or something. I could have killed that baby. Falling on my brand new baby. So I told him to go outside. Let's take it outside. And he wouldn't. And he laughed me off and acted like, it was funny. And I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. So all I know, at some point I blacked out. Blackout is real. You can get so upset. And I was sober. I didn't drink or nothing at that time. And so I was very sober, but I blacked out. And all I know is at some point I grabbed the stiletto high heel and popped him dead in his head with it. And his head cracked open some kind of way. And next thing you know, I go to jail. And when the police came, they said, well, he said he gonna tell them, you ain't got to take her. I ain't gonna press charges. You called them and you're bleeding. They got to take me. Dummy. And so it couldn't have been too bad because I don't think he ever got stitches for it, It's a gash in the head. You'll remember me. Every haircut, baby. Every time you go to part your hair, you'll remember. You see that good old dent in your head for the rest of your life. You'll remember who put it there and why. So that was my first time. So that was something both Jerron and Beauty in April asked me to tell stories about myself. So, Beauty in April also asks that I talk about Yummy Bite's daughter. Not her daughter. Murder Show's daughter, Nene. It's really not a whole lot that I can say about her, Beauty in April, because it's like that girl is 18 and she's trying to compete with Christy for her father's love and attention. And so, as you know the story, her and Christy got into it, and her father ended up putting her out the house, and Christy is not her mother, and but let me tell you where that girl Nene lost me at. And God bless her young soul for being on her own and being independent and grinding and getting it in her first apartment. However, she brags a lot. She's very immature. She's got a long way to go. She brags a lot. She'll be, she showed her pantry. She got like fruit snacks and, just kid foods and cereals, and she's bragging, saying she's better than Gummy Bites over there. And, she's got a lot of growing to do. She lost me as a viewer when she was bragging about cooking, and she was cooking and she dropped a French fry on the floor. She picked the French fry up and put it back in the pot and fried it. Yep, that's why you can't eat at everybody's house. People's standards are different. So that's when she lost me as a viewer, because she was doing all this big time bragging. She got a Jaguar. She supposed to have dropped over $500, I think she said, at her mother's birthday dinner when she took her mother and her mother's boyfriend out, and her boyfriend. And, she do a lot of bragging, and baby, when I saw her drop that French fry on the floor and throw that in the pot, I was done. But next time, keep listening to me, Beauty in April, Fly High. I want to do something for you anyway, just because you rock with me. So if you listening, drop down in the comment section. Tell me you heard this whole video all the way through. And if Fly High hit me up, I'm going to drop a Cash App on you too. I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate it.